We've got a lot to cover, from market swings and economic data to a bunch of exciting tech news coming out of CES. Everyone is buzzing about Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang.
Yeah,
I heard his presentation was pretty electrifying, like a rock concert or something.
it was quite a show. He had this rock star energy that really captured the excitement around AI right now.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise considering Nvidia has been dominating the AI space.
Yeah, they've been killing it.
Yeah. In fact, their stock was hitting record highs, at least until today's little dip.
Yeah, I saw that dip. Makes you wonder what's going on there. But anyway, tell me more about this presentation. What were the big takeaways?
Well, there were three major things that really stood out. First, Huang dropped this line that has everyone talking. The ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner.
Okay, that's a pretty bold statement. So he's basically saying that we're on the verge of a robotics revolution powered by AI.
Exactly. He's not just talking about it. Nvidia is actively building the platform to make it happen. They're partnering with companies like Toyota and Continental to develop self-driving technology and really push the boundaries of what robots can do.
Okay, wow, that's incredible. So what was the second big announcement?
Nvidia also unveiled some impressive new graphics cards that can be used for both AI development and gaming.
Ah, so they're catering to both like the hardcore tech crowd and the gamers out there.
Yeah.
And the third big announcement, don't leave me hanging.
The third big announcement was the GB10 AI superchip. This thing's like straight out of a science fiction movie. It's designed to accelerate AI development across a wide range of industries.
Wow. It's a lot to process. Nvidia is really making some big moves in the AI space, and it sounds like they're not the only ones benefiting from all this excitement.
That's right. Several other companies got an Nvidia boost after Huang's presentation. For example, Aurora Innovation, which is developing self-driving trucks, saw their stock jump almost 30% after their partnership with Nvidia was announced.
Wow, a 30% jump. That's huge. And what about Micron Technology? Weren't they mentioned too?
Yes, Micron Technology, which makes memory chips, also saw a significant increase in their stock price. They're supplying the memory for Nvidia's new gaming chips, so their success is closely tied to Nvidia's.
This is all starting to feel like a giant puzzle with all these different pieces fitting together. You've got the economic reports influencing interest rates, Nvidia making waves at CES with their AI advancements, and other companies riding that wave of innovation. It's fascinating to see how it all connects.
It certainly highlights how interconnected our world is, especially in the realms of technology and finance. What might seem like isolated events can have a ripple effect across various sectors and industries.
Okay, so we've covered the economic news and the big highlights from Nvidia at CES. But CES wasn't all robots and super chips, was it?
Oh, no.
I heard you saw some pretty unique gadgets, too.
Oh, absolutely. CES is always a showcase for the latest and greatest, but also for the quirky and unexpected.
Give me some examples. What caught your eye?
Well, there was this laptop made entirely from oyster shells. It was a striking example of sustainable design, and it really made you think about the possibilities of using unconventional materials in tech products.
Okay, a laptop made from oyster shells. That's pretty cool. What else?
Oh, there was also this AI-powered garden camera that could identify different plant species and even provide gardening tips.
Okay, that one actually sounds pretty useful, especially for someone like me who can't tell a rose from a dandelion. All right, so we've seen the serious side of CES with NVIDIA's AI push, and we've seen the more playful side with these quirky gadgets. But now it's time to get down to business and talk about some major market movers. So let's start with Carvana. They've been in the news lately because of a short seller report that questioned their business model.
Right.
But despite that, analysts at RBC Capital just upgraded their stock to outperform.
That's right. Short selling is essentially betting that a company's stock price will go down.
Right.
So this outperform rating from RBC Capital suggests they believe in Carvana's long-term potential, even with the challenges they're currently facing.
So it's like a vote of confidence, even amidst the skepticism.
Exactly. And that positive outlook seemed to help boost Carvana's stock price today. Next, we have Moderna. Their stock surged over 11% on news of the first bird flu death in the U.S.
Wow, that's a significant jump. Why such a strong reaction to this news?
This highlights just how sensitive the market can be to health concerns, especially those that have the potential to become pandemics.
Right.
Moderna is a major player in the vaccine space, and investors are clearly betting that they could play a key role in containing any potential bird flu outbreak.
So it's a case of buy low, sell high, but with a public health twist.
You could say that. Other vaccine makers like Novavax and CureVac also saw their stock prices rise on this news, indicating a broader trend in the market.
What else is on our list?
We also have a company developing vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Okay.
Their stock soared today after they announced a share consolidation move.
What does that mean exactly? Share consolidation.
It means they're reducing the number of outstanding shares, which can increase the value of each individual share. Sometimes companies do this to try and boost their stock price and attract more investors.
Interesting. So it's a strategic move to make their stock look more appealing.
Exactly. It's not always a guaranteed success, but it's a common tactic used by companies looking to improve their market position. The last one is MicroStrategy, a company that has gone all in on Bitcoin. They announced plans to raise up to $2 billion to buy even more Bitcoin, which actually spooked some investors.
Why would that spook investors? I thought Bitcoin was supposed to be the future of finance.
Well, Bitcoin is known for its volatility.
Yeah, it goes up and down like crazy.
Exactly. Its value can swing dramatically, which makes it a risky investment. MicroStrategy's decision to double down on Bitcoin is a bold move, but it's also a risky one. Some investors are clearly concerned about the potential downsides.
It's like they're putting all their eggs in one very volatile basket.
That's a good way to put it. It's a fascinating case study in risk and reward. Time will tell whether their bet pays off.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. But there were a couple of other big stories in the market today that I think we should touch on before we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Absolutely. There were some notable shifts in the market that are definitely worth discussing.
Let's talk about Tesla first. They got downgraded by Bank of America, which sent their stock price tumbling.
That's right. The analysts at Bank of America cited concerns about Tesla's high valuation and the regulatory uncertainty surrounding electric vehicles as reasons for the downgrade.
So it's not necessarily that Tesla is doing poorly, but more that their stock price might have gotten ahead of itself.
That's one way to interpret it. The downgrade is basically a signal to investors that Tesla's current stock price might not accurately reflect the company's current performance or future prospects.
And what about Palantir? They got hit with a double whammy today. A bad rating from Morgan Stanley and being dropped by ARK Invest ETFs. That's rough.
It is. Palantir, despite its focus on data analytics and government contracts, has been caught up in a broader trend of investors becoming more cautious about growth stocks, especially as interest rates rise.
So it's not just about Palantir specifically, but more about a shift in market sentiment.
Exactly. This can lead to a decline in the value of growth stocks, which are typically seen as riskier than more established companies.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've got Tesla facing concerns about valuation and Palantir getting caught in a broader market shift.
It's a reminder that even in a seemingly strong market, there are always underlying currents and potential risks to consider. All right, so let's dig into some of those M&A stories you mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. Out of that group, I'm really curious about Paychex acquiring Paycor. It seems like there's a lot of consolidation happening in the payroll and HR industry lately.
And you're right, this Paychex Paycor deal is a prime example of that trend. It's not just about Paychex getting bigger, it's also about them tapping into Paycor's expertise in cloud-based HR solutions and AI-driven tools. They're essentially future-proofing themselves.
So they're recognizing that the way businesses handle payroll and HR is changing rapidly, becoming more digital and automated.
Exactly. This merger allows Paychex to stay ahead of the curve.
All right, let's move on to the Getty Images and Shutterstock merger. This one really stood out to me because of the whole AI-generated images thing. It feels like that's going to completely change the photography industry.
You're hitting on a key point here. This merger is a direct response to the disruptive forces reshaping stock photography. Both Getty Images and Shutterstock built their businesses on providing high-quality, human-curated images. But now they're facing competition from AI. And it's not just stock photography. Think about all the industries that rely on visual content, advertising, marketing, publishing. AI is going to have a major impact.
So this merger is more about survival than just getting bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By combining their resources, Getty and Shutterstock hope to strengthen their position and invest more heavily in AI technology themselves. They need to adapt to stay relevant. And judging by the positive stock market reaction, investors seem to think they're on the right track.
It makes you wonder if this is just the beginning of a wave of consolidation in industries that are being disrupted by AI.
It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, it really is mind-boggling to think about how AI is already changing the game in so many fields. It's like we're on the verge of a technological revolution, you know?
Oh, it is. It's an exciting time to be alive, that's for sure. But with this rapid advancement comes a responsibility to consider the ethical implications of AI.
Right. That's a crucial point. It's not just about all the amazing things that AI can do, but also about making sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
Hmm.
We need to be thinking about the impact on jobs, for instance, and how to create regulations that kind of keep AI development aligned with human values.
Precisely. It's about having those open and honest conversations about both the risks and the benefits, being proactive in shaping AI's development rather than just reacting to the consequences later on.
And that's what we aim to do here on the deep dive, right? Empowering you, the listener, with the knowledge to navigate all of this.
Absolutely, knowledge is power. And we're committed to providing insightful analysis and diverse perspectives on the most important issues of our time.
So let's do a quick recap of what we covered today. We started with the economic news, which showed a strong labor market, but also raised some concerns about inflation sticking around. This means the Fed is unlikely to cut interest rates anytime soon, which could impact your investment decisions. Then we shifted gears to CES, where Nvidia dominated the conversation with their announcements about AI-powered robots, new graphics cards, and that super chip that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Nvidia is betting big on AI, and their advancements are sending ripples throughout the tech world.
That's true.
And let's not forget about all that merger and acquisition activity. Companies like Paychex Cintas and Getty Images are making strategic moves to consolidate their positions and adapt to this rapidly changing market. We also saw Tesla facing some headwinds with a downgrade from Bank of America and Palantir, caught in a broader shift in market sentiment away from growth stocks. But perhaps the biggest takeaway today is the growing influence of AI across the board. It's no longer a futuristic concept, but a transformative force that's shaping our world in really profound ways.
It really is. And this brings us back to that crucial question. How will AI continue to evolve? And what will the implications be for industries, economies, and even our own personal lives?
Right, it's a question we'll continue to explore as this whole AI thing unfolds. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the forces shaping our world. Keep those questions coming, and remember, knowledge is power.